Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Make a Point. And I sincerely want to appreciate you for always joining me on this program every Sunday. Um, if you have been missing out, you can as well go back to our previous episode so you can catch up with the vibes. I've made a point uh, in some past episode which are very much online for you, is on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can go on NYCPC Tv on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel on Facebook, NYCPC Tv, or you can follow us on my private Instagram, Prince AJ, so you can catch up with the vibe. So, on today's episode of Make a Point, I'll be talking about something about dreams. In previous episode, I've talked about dreams, and I think it's something we need to keep talking about so that we can all put ourselves in the right position that we should be. So don't get stuck in the middle of your dreams. That's what I'll be talking about today on Make a Point. Don't get stuck in the middle of your dreams. At some point in life, in the line of, you know, fulfilling our duties or fulfilling our dreams in life, we sometimes get stuck and lose the needed enthusiasm to keep us going towards our desired destination. There are so many unpredictable occurrences, unprecedented occurrences that may involve, that could bring a negative impact on the same dream we were so passionate about at the start. Negative impact from low productivity levels, especially those who are in the business world, antagonistic expression from presumed loved ones, those who doesn't support our dreams and want to say some words that are negative to just kill us in the middle of the pack, unprecedented disappointment, low self-esteem, and the will to maintain focus through the journey. All of those factors could become a barrier to excelling in our chosen career. It may form an obstacle in pursuing your ambition, destabilize your relationship with your spouses, and so on and so forth. Many have lost the ability and the passion to push themselves through their desired destination in life. So many people have lost the first love they had towards their ambitions, towards their dreams, even in their relationship. Getting stuck in the middle of one's dream is not considered a failure. It's not an interpretation of defeat. It is simply one of the acts of nature that are inevitable. So when you feel stuck in the middle of your dreams, all you have to do is to go back to the drawing board, rejuvenate your spirit by your first love towards that dream, rekindle your fire by reactivating those plans you had before embark on the journey. Keep that imagination of greatness in your success in view. Reassess what led to you getting stuck and work your way around it. This is also applicable in our relationship. When things go wrong, always revert to the good memories that you shared with your spouses, your friend, or your partners. This will make you overcome those trying times and edge forward. As an individual, you should always go back to your drawing board and figure things out because God has given us the power to be the custodian of our destination. Don't be stranded in the middle of your dreams. Keep it alive. It is your dream. I am Prince AJ, and I just want to make a point. See you next Sunday. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Roadmap to a New Nigeria. And I sincerely want to appreciate those who always make it as a point of duty to always join me on this episode of Roadmap to a New Nigeria. Roadmap to a New Nigeria is a program sponsored by Nigeria Youth Coalition for Positive Change, aka One Era Movement. This is a youth organization that is saddled towards reviving the passion of the youth towards the development of the country. And we are always welcoming people from every walks of life, and especially in the diaspora, to put heads together and see what we can do to provide sustainable solutions to all the problems that are facing us as an entity. There are some ugly narratives that have been attributed to our nation in the past, and it is important that we all put this as a way to a way to something in our mind in a way to contribute our own quota to the development of the country because we cannot all of us cannot put our eyes off because we are living peacefully because we don't have any issue with our families and that, or we have a good income or whatever, and we have to close our eyes and play as if whatever is happening in the country is none of our business. It is our country, it is our nation, and we should always put this at the back of our mind that we need to leave a legacy. And how do we know that we're even going to live longer? So, when you're young and you're vibrant and you know you can understand the way of life, it is important that you contribute your quota to your country. You can leave your legacy even without spending a dime by showing your patriotism towards the nation. It can go a long way to give you the needed legacy that's going to live after you when you pass. So on today's episode of Roadmap to a New Nigeria, I know in the previous episode we've talked about some decadence in our society, in our educational sector. My plan was that today we was going to talk about health, but during the week some people reached out to me that they really want to know much about NYCPC and One Era movement. And I believe it is important that we remind ourselves, just like what we just had at Make a Point, that sometimes we need to know, go back to drawing board and reassess what we have as a group and re-strategize in a way to achieve this dream of ours. So for those who have been sending me questions and asking me about this whole project. It is a movement. It is a movement that is saddled towards reviving our nation. And this show is put together in a way that we can all come together and identify those things that are really contributing to the decadence in our society. And we cannot provide a solution without actually knowing the problems. So we need to identify those problems, which I believe most of us know the problems, but we need to understand what are the fundamental causes of this problem. What have actually led to this problem before it became something that everybody need to talk about. So that's why we have this program laid down that everybody can as well contribute, join me on the show and put your input. And it's all for, it's not for me, it's all, it's, this platform is for every one of us that has good ideas, that has what it takes to take our country to the next level. In a situation that we have a nation that has been led with different kind of leadership, you know, because today when we talk, many people will say the problem we have as a nation are our leaders. You know, I'm still going back to the NYCPC and the One Era movement, but I really want to say something about this. You know, we all attribute all our problems to our leaders. Fine, if we get it right at the level of leadership, as a country, we will be leading in Africa, even in the world. But we are not really blessed with the kind of leaders that will take us to the next level. But having said that, we have to look beyond leadership sometimes. What are we doing as followers? You know, our duties as followers does not end at the point of electing our leaders. Our duties as followers transcend that position of electionary processes. So, what are you doing as a patriotic Nigerian to make sure that you contribute your own quota to the development of this nation? I know it is hard. Everybody is struggling to survive. It's the survival of the fittest. We want to make our hands meet and all that. But we have a nation to protect. If we have a nation that can accommodate us, that won't kill our dreams, then the generation yet unborn will be having a secured future. So, what are you doing as an individual? Are you one of the people who always apport the blame to the leaders alone, forgetting that the leaders also emanated within our society? Because it is what our society put in position, it is what we're going to see at the end of our fear sometime, someday. So if we are still breeding set of crooks, set of selfish followers, if we are still allowing our society to define the kind of humans that we are, the kind of human being that we're going to become when we are given an opportunity to lead, if we still allow the society to, excuse me, to dictate the tune, we will still be having that type of leaders in the end of our fears. So to get it right, we need to change the narrative from our background, from our counties, from our local government, from our local councils and all that, from our towns and cities. We need to change the ugly narratives. We need to start celebrating people according to what they are, not according to their success or according to their wealth. We shouldn't be celebrating wealth. We should be celebrating, or diligence, intelligence, stewardship. We should be celebrating commitment, patriotism. But in a situation that we allow our society to celebrate wealth as against diligence, to celebrate people because of what they're going to give, like monetary things that they're going to give. Somebody was telling me that, oh, what's going on with your show? Why don't you introduce some giveaway so that people can come to the show? Well, it's not about giving away something to people. That should bring people to support whatever thing that has to add quality or value to the life of the majority. it is for you to understand that as a citizen, you have a role to play in developing your nation. Fine. When the time comes for giveaway, we're going to do a giveaway in a very, very attainable platform. But on this, we want people who are like minds, who want to, contribute something to this nation to come on board so we can brainstorm and work things out. So we talked about we brought people on this show that talked about the decadence in our education, and we're planning to bring people to talk about the decadence in our health sectors. So we want to start talking about these sectors by sectors so that we can identify the problems that are leading to the causes of these problems. Then when we have this on board, then we can all jointly look at the solution we can provide to this without considering the input of the government. Because as citizens, we have our roles to play in our society. As citizens, just imagine a government or leaders or whichever way we may put it, construct a drainage facility for an access road. And that drainage is just to keep that road alive so that, there will be no waterlock and all that. But as citizens, when there's rainfall, you dump refuse in the drainage to block it. And this waterlock become flood and started washing away the road being constructed. Fine, sometimes these roads are not well constructed. But when we put a proper measure to manage them, to maintain them as an individual, we might have something more of something more presentable going forward. So what role are you playing in nation building? So this is why we are, joining together, joining forces together from the north to the east to the south and to the west to make sure that we change this ugly narrative. We bring forward patriotic individuals who can uh, uh, bring solutions among our folds to the problems that we're facing as a nation. Not everybody. We can't do it by ourselves. We still need the government input, but we need to have that positive mindset that we can achieve a good nation, a nation of our dreams, if we all put this together. So today I won't really talk too long because I want you all to contribute. Thank you, everybody, for joining. My brother Akintude Awuyemi, thank you so much. I think you commented on the make a point. My brother Honorable Odeshola Chris, thank you for joining the show. Engineer Luyede Shegun, thank you for being on the show. Mom, thank you for being on the show. Thank you so much. Um, and for those who are still coming up to join, there's a link on the chat that if you want to join this show, you want to talk about something important that you think we can all do to save our nation going forward. The link is right there for you to come on board. So, like I said today, just going to be talking about the Nigerian Youth Coalition for Positive Change and why we formed this organization some few years ago and our intentions. Because during the week, like I said earlier, some people asked me that what is going on, what is all this about, how can I join this movement? I want to be a part of it and all of that. So I'm just going to get some information from our archive and maybe probably I can relate some of it in a brief way that I can uh, tell us, express it to us. So One Era Movement, Nigeria Youth Coalition for Positive Change, aka One Era Movement, is a platform that was established as a result of the endangering challenges consistently faced for many years by most of we Nigerians, not minding our ethnic and religion differences. It has been a shared pain, especially among we the teeming youth of this nation, that a nation filled with the abundance of milk and honey, a nation with one of the largest reserves of natural and mineral resources, our motherland that is rich in cultural and social heritages, could not serve as a haven for all of us. Needless to say, the number of many in the possession of valid academic certificates and some with certificate of apprenticeship, but painfully, they got nothing to show for it because of the country unpatriotic factors towards our citizens. Most of our leaders, if not all of them, kept their suspicion with the politics of hatred, where they literally turned majority of we the youth to sworn enemies because of their own political gains. Our new generation are not left behind in the agonies that we found ourselves since our independence. Not a single child enjoys the best education facilities that could enhance their level of academic advancement to compete or match up with other developing countries. What of their welfare, even at those early ages? The stress many of these kids face going and coming back from schools cannot be overemphasized. Beg your pardon. What then is the future of a building if the foundation is not properly constructed? What should we say about our aged parents who are also faced with these same factors? Many of them served the nation with all their strength, but after retirement, they began another race for survival with their fragile minds because there are no sustainable retirement packages that they could leverage on for survival. Most of our parents who spent all their lives and resources raising their children academically with the hope that someday they will come back to take care of them. Many of these children are still roaming around the streets on jump hunt for many years without hope. Our best brains are departing the country in their numbers in search for a greener pasture. Many died in the desert, some are stranded in some Arab countries, some abandoned their promising careers to begin another profession that could take them many years to reach standard. Many of our citizens in the diaspora are sometimes treated with no form of dignity because of the present state of our nation. We cannot keep folding our hands to allow these ugly trends eliminate our promising destinies. That was the main reason why we need a platform where we can all rise up to help each other reach our potentials, where we will not commit our hope solely on the hands of our leaders who prioritize their ambitions and interests above the masses they were elected to serve. Nigeria Youth Coalition for Positive Change, NYCPC, is championing a cause that will breathe a fresh breath to the hopes of all and sundry. A platform where patriotic youth from all the geopolitical zone of Nigeria will continuously come together to brainstorm and deliberate on sustainable solutions to our problems, to brainstorm and deliberate on sustainable projects that will be executed as part of the mission towards regaining our pride as a consequential generation. And invariably, reducing all the challenges facing us daily as Nigerians. NYCPC initiated a movement named One Era Movement. Under this movement, we shall be recruiting more patriotic individuals, both young and old, to join, support, and become a principal beneficiary from the areas of intervention project that we shall be carrying around the country. One Era movement is a movement that will foster unity among all Nigerians, no matter the tribe or religion beliefs. And the donation from all well-meaning individuals into this movement shall be channeled to bring in effective and sustainable solutions to the problem of child mortality, unemployment, welfare from the old ages, within the ages of 65 and above, emergency services on our expressway, and many social services to revive our nation. We cannot commit our fate to the hands of our government alone. We cannot keep on, continue to commit our fate to the hands of our leaders. As it stands, if we look outside the box, we will realize that collectively we can achieve more than a milestone beyond whatever any government or any individual can do for us in many years. The honors lies with us to take up the gospel of a new beginning with the advocacy of this movement. So, One Era movement is here to change the ugly narrative of our nation. So we anticipate your support. We anticipate your contributions. We anticipate your membership. So if you want to join this movement, you can visit our website, nycpc.org or oneeramovement.org. There's a column on on NYCPC and the org and oneeramovement.org where you can sign up and become a member, because we are creating that template for you to make a legacy of yours in building this nation. So, for those who are still online with us, uh, if you have any questions, even if it's during the Make a Point segment, the line is open, the comment section is open for me to answer your questions. If you have contributions to this show, if you want to partake in this show, you can show your intention. The link is right there for you to join me. And if you have something to say in contribution to all that I've said about moving our nation forward, the platform is still open for you to say something. So just let's imagine a country where we have people working hands in hands to take the welfare of fellow citizens more important. There's something that always baffles me, that get me so worried when I see it. You're going on the highway, on the expressway, especially the Lagos Ibadan expressway and the Lokoja Abuja expressway, and people run into accidents. And you see people, the accident victims in pool of blood. There's nobody coming to no ambulance services, no emergency services to come over and rescue these people. That's avoidable death that people dies in all this expressway. If we had put in place an emergency services that can take care of those people when those accidents occurred, we will have saved so many souls. So now imagine a world where people of the same mind can come together and put in place an emergency services on this highway, on this expressway, just to save our fellow humans. It will go a long way. If we prioritize the welfare of our fellow individuals, It will help in building the nation. People will have faith in this country. People will have faith in the nation. People will want to like, that their life are not worthless. When you go to our health sectors where the staffs are even underpaid or their welfare are not well taken care of by the government. But the way this most of these health workers also disseminate their own duties to we the citizen, their own fellow citizen. Sometimes it's so alarming the way they they relate with patients, the way they relate with sick people, the way these health people talk to people where they're in trouble, in no sense of, because there's frustration coming from above, and that frustration has been extended to people that deserve care. Imagine you going to an emergency room and you're hearing some negative word from those who are supposed to give you comforting words. These are things that we're putting together to change the narrative. There are reasons for this, but we need to identify the reasons for this. Okay, if government are not taking care of this air workers, uh, they also might be extending that frustration on those who are there, so on those people they're supposed to disseminate their own functions to. But at the end of the day, these same people are the one paying both the nurses and the government, because from the taxpayer money that is going back to the nurses, that the leaders are also giving back. So, but those who are paying these taxes, paying these bills, are not even being appreciated, are treated like dogs, especially when you don't have money, especially when you're nobody in the society. The way you're being treated. You don't even sometimes you don't even want to go. You don't need to want to go to access these facilities because of the fear of what they're going to say to you. We need to change these ugly narratives. That's why we have this platform. Now, take for instance a situation whereby we have old ages who have served their early years, their active years diligently, contributing their quotas to the development of the nation. At the end of their retirement, no gratuity was paid, no social security, like the pensions, no pensions, irregularities in their pension payments, no welfare packages for them. What will become the fate of others who are planning to follow suit when they see how these people who have given their whole life? Because if you work in the civil service for 35 years, it's like giving the best productive years of your life to your nation. So when you grow old, beg your pardon, and it's time for you to benefit from that same system. The system is not there for you. So what can we do as an entity to make sure that we change this ugly narratives? That is why NYCPC is calling upon every patriotic individual to come together so that we can brainstorm and see how we can work this out among ourselves. Because at the end of the day, if the government is good, if the government is bad, there is always a receiving hand, which is we, the common man, which is we, the average citizens. So if the government is good or if the government is bad, we are still going to be the one at the receiving hand. So, but if we can rise up, not against the leaders, but rise up among ourselves to look at things that we can do as a society, as a community, as an entity to change these narratives, to help ourselves develop ourselves, to help ourselves advance to the next level. There will be little that the government will do to control our emotion, to control our consciences. So that's why we have this platform so that we can, bring out prospective leaders of tomorrow in a way that a country should look like. And that's why YCPC is putting up this program, a roadmap to a new Nigeria, so that we can channel all our energies on things that are affecting us. We cannot bring solution to what we don't know the problems. So in this show, we identify the problems in our educational sector. We brought speakers, guest speakers who talked extensively on this. And from that moment, we were able to deduce from those points that were made what has contributed to the decadence in our educational system and the effects on our economy, the effect on our nation as a whole, and what to do going forward, the policy that the government need to implement to change the narrative going forward, and what we can do as a community, as an entity, to change the narrative in our educational sector. The roles of parents, the roles of our teachers, and the roles of we, the pupils or the student in that lane. So we've been able to talk about this on this show, and this is already in our archive to work with. So if peradventure we're having the next leader emerging from this fold, we already have what we're going to do about education. It is in the pipeline. We're already talking about it. We already exposed the problem in that sector. We already exposed the problem surrounding the welfare of the academic and non-academic bodies around this educational system, and the infrastructural development and all of that. Policy implementation, budgetary allocation, and everything that has to do with the development of our educational system. We have gotten that in our archive, and this is something we are working on to see how we can support the system in achieving our dream as a nation. So these are many more of what we plan to be doing on NYCPC, and we'll be bringing this to your notice on NYCPC TV. So if a policy implementation, budgetary allocation. Okay, I think I'm seeing some comments coming in from the other channel. So if you haven't joined us or subscribed to our channel on YouTube, please do so by visiting NYCPC TV. If you haven't followed us on our platform, Nigeria Youth Coalition for Positive Change, find that on Facebook. It's www.fb.com/nycpc.org, or you go to our NYCPC channel, NYCPC TV channel. So if you want to join this movement, all you need to do is visit oneeramovement.org and sign up as a volunteer or a member. We will reach out to you, then we'll tell you what we are going to be doing together. I'll be rounding up today's show, and I sincerely want to appreciate you for joining me today. And next week, it's going to be a very special edition because we will be talking about the decadence in our health sector. We're going to start that next week. So if you have questions, if you have contributions, if you have your own input, or if you have an idea on what you think we can do, because on one of our platforms, we are running something like learn a trade to become a boss. So last year we was able to, match some people with some apprenticeship work, and these they can learn and start on their own. And we're trying to, support them with token to start their own business. So we've seen people who are into all this, what is it called? this handiwork who are who are self-employed and are ready to train people. So we bring them on board. Then we tell our members, our volunteers who are interested in that kind of trade to join them. So when you join them, we sort is a partnership, it's a private and public partnership system. So we pay part of your training fee. Then when you're done and you're being certified, then you can start your own business. You can start your own trade. Then we can also bring from our volunteering list to join you also to help you achieve more of your dream in your choosing career. So we've been doing this, and we hope that if you join us, we can make it more elaborate and we can reach out to more people. Because one way or the other, we need to help ourselves to solve this problem of unemployment. Because I'm not saying government providing 5 million jobs in a year. I don't think it is possible for now. But whatever we can do as an individual to create job for ourselves, like somebody who know how to do something special and can earn something from it, and is ready to train others. We pay you, you train these people, and we commission them to start their own trade. And with this, if we start bringing people like that, helping people, if it's in fashion designing, if it things are even the way things are going now, this common trade that we underrate are really what some people put their whole life on, and they become famous in life. So if it's fashion designing, if it's whatever trade that you can think about, if it's skill work, skill acquisition, and all of that, and you can train people, just sign up, send us email. Let's know what you can do. Then we're gonna work with you. Then we'll roll it out with our volunteer list, those who are interested in such trade. Then we're gonna match them with you. Whatever it's gonna cost us to, train these people, we put every financial things in place for you, and it's going to be a win-win, because when they can support you, like more workforce for you to be more productive, and after they are done with their training, they can also become an employer of labor in their different areas. So this is one of the things that we are doing at NYCPC, and we're also trying to work with our old ages to work with how we can bring this, uh, put priority to their welfare. So we're looking at things we can do in that aspect. So there's so much on our table. There's so much that we are planning. We believe with your support, we believe with your contributions, we believe with your patriotism, we will achieve all this dream of ours. Next week is another episode of Roadmap to a New Nigeria, where we'll be talking about the decadence in our health system. Uh, I sincerely want to appreciate you once again for joining this program. We believe that in due time, it is going to be a more engaging channel where everybody come online to make their input. So thank you so much for taking time out. Next Sunday is another day. Thank you, and God bless you. See you next week.